Morning, everyone. Well, of course, if you're in Nigeria, it's good morning. It's just 11 a.m. West African time. And for some of our participants not in Nigeria, good morning, good afternoon, and then good evening, based on where you're calling from. I want you to just make a comment if you can hear me clearly. I need to be sure that our audio is good. If you can hear me clearly, just state that I can hear you. I can hear you on our chat box so that I can see that we can all hear me clearly, or perhaps we need to improve on our volume. So can you hear me clearly? Can you hear me clearly? So just okay, yes, sir, very clear. Thank you so much. All right, thank you. Thank you so much. Let me, at this junction, welcome every one of us to this product presentation organized by Pharmalat. Just a brief about Pharmalat. We are a social animal health enterprise taxed with the Herculean task of ensuring easy access to affordable animal health care across the country. And we've been doing this for the last 5 years. Good to say that we have achieved some commensurable level of success since we started. And one of those success that we achieved is having most of our distribution centers close to you, where you could get easy and affordable animal health products, including vaccines, drugs, medication, accessories, equipment, and what the likes. We also have an arm that deals with community engagement. Although this is not our community engagement arm, I know Dr. Zainab is on and trying to catch up with what it is that we're doing. This is the business part of Pharmalat, and that's why we have tagged this product presentation. We're fortunate to be partnering with Boehringer Ingelheim to ensure that you have the best. And once I say the best, I mean the best animal health product there is. The person to be making today's presentation, there will be time for question and answer. We'll have quite a bit of interactions around what it is and what is not, what you understood and what you don't understand regarding the products. But I'm here to play a host to someone who will be leading us in today's products presentation. We're going to be talking specifically around 2 products. So for the next 45 minutes, it's all going to be product. But I need to be sure that Dr. Moses is on back end. Please, is Dr. Moses on? We see Moses Ojo. I'm not sure if it's exactly Dr. Moses. Okay, so Dr. Moses is not yet on. Dr. Nancy, please do me well, call Dr. Moses. I spoke to him 10 minutes before this meeting, so that I'm sure he's coming up. And then his slide is also ready. But let me also acknowledge the presence of the chairman of our advisory board, somebody who has excelled in the field of animal health. And then he's currently being utilized by Foreign Grains. Foreign Grains, now one of the top experts in terms of epidemiology, One Health and and epidemiology experts in Rome, working with the Food and Agriculture Organization of Nigeria, Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO. If you don't mind, can you just help us unmute Professor Fashina just to say hi to every one of us while we prepare to have Dr. Moses on board?
Yeah, good morning all, and thank you for the...
Yes, we can hear you, Prof.
This presentation.
Okay, we can hear you, Prof.
I'm saying good morning to all of you. You can hear me?
Yes.
Yes. I'm happy to be here. I also want to learn from the expert in the field. I've not been in practice for a very long time, and I'm looking forward to this discussion. So thank you very much. And I believe that we will we all learn from the presentation from Dr. Moses and his team today. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Prof. So please, back end, is Dr. Moses on now? right, somebody needs to help us call him. And I want to welcome every one of us. We're expecting, let's say, around 30 participants. We have 23 now. And of course, Dr. Moses will be up shortly to bring us the key metrics around the two products we want to make a presentation with today. So while we are on, Dr. Nancy, have you been able to contact Dr. Moses?
Yes, sir. I've contacted him. He'll be joining in a minute.
Backend, so for the link also, you could help us quickly disable the registration so that people can have the easy access. I just got a message from my phone. He will be on in a minute. Fantastic. So just to let us know that Dr. Moses will be on, and he will be taking the All right, so we're good. Is Dr. Moses on now? Not yet. Now, Dr. Moses is putting me on the spot. Most likely, I will be the one making the presentation, but again, that's just a joke. He is the expert. Dr. Moses is the regional sales manager for Boringa, England, Sub-Saharan Africa. He understands the product right, left, and center. I understand a bit of it, but again, it's proper to hear from the expert what the product is all about. Let me again thank every one of us who has joined. It's going to be more like a 1-hour ride. We will have the product presentation for 45 minutes. And after 45 minutes, we'll take a brief question and answer. And currently, Farmalat is looking for the right representative across the northern region to help us make the proper connection to all the northern livestock market. So if you have a very good vet you want to recommend, we're currently at the interview process. We'll be happy to have your recommendation. Hopefully by next week, we should come up with a vet smart enough to help us lead our livestock sales. All right, so Dr. Moses. Dr. Moses will soon be on. If you permit me to just quickly call him, maybe so we know what the technical difficulties is. We have released on the link. All right, so I've been able to reach Dr. Moses. He's joining. I think he has a little issue with registering on the link, but we are done with that. We should see him in a GP. So maybe let me just engage us one after the other, and you can raise up your hand if you will. We have two products we want to exposed to the market, and I know you've known about the product. Some of us who have known about the product can also testify. If you've heard of Topline pour on by Boehringer Ingelheim, can you just signify by raising on your hands? So let's pick a few. So I see one, Dr. Haruna. Can you please help us unmute and bring Dr. Haruna upstage? Dr. Abubakar Haruna. You've heard of Topline, sir?
Yes, sir. I've heard of Topline, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. So what's
I heard of it. Was it not? This is not the first time I heard of it, but it been long. I heard of the product before you.
Yeah.
It been long. I heard of the product before your advert.
Yes.
Yeah. For some time, I think around was it early last year. Early last year, I went to a farm, a dairy farm. And I met somebody using it. Well, that was the first time I saw the product over there. Yeah. Then I couldn't lay my hand on it. Even here where I do planting around plateau bounty acid, that was a certain time I've been looking for the product. I couldn't have to ask for another product in Kaduna. Yeah. That is for on. Not really the Topline product. I use another product which is the Zapamatrain for on. A different product apart from the Topline product. This was my last the early last year. I'm very much early last year. That was the last time I saw the product.
Exactly. So we had that issue. I want to say because Topline came in and then it was very difficult to get it in afterwards. But again, good news today and going forward. Okay. Parmalat has taken the responsibility to ensure that Topline and Ivomec Plus is constantly in local markets. So that's one of the big news that we're going to be introducing to you. But I wanted Dr. Moses to let the cat out of the bag. But again, I'm happy you know about it and you've also attested to how good it is. So we have Dr. Salihu. Can you please unmute? You've heard of Topline. What's your experience around it?
Good morning.
Morning, Doc. Dr. Amina.
Yes, I used a few years ago, say very early in my career, and I haven't seen it since then.
So we cannot hear you clearly.
I used it a few years ago, very early on in my career, but I haven't seen it since then.
Since then? You said you used it 3 years ago.
A few years ago. Very
ago.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So again, I think that's about the thing we've also learned. People saw it, knew how effective it was, and then I think the manufacturer had a few issues here and there on bringing them in. But as I said, Parmalat is now responsible for ensuring that we have it always in our local market. And glad to also let you know that we now have it across board. We're going to be recruiting people who will help us promote and redistribute the product across the country so that we can focus on what we do best, just bringing in the product, shiploads of the product, which we currently have. So we've talked about Topline. What about Ivomec Plus? There are 2 products that we're bringing in. If you've heard of Ivomec Plus or you've used it, can you just signify by raising your hands? Let's share experience. Okay, Dr. Amina too. So all same set of people. Look, okay, so let's hear from you, Dr. Amina, first.
So for Ivomec Super, it used to be in the market at some point in time, and then all of a sudden it just disappeared. Really good product.
Yes, thank you so much. Somebody also said that when every other thing fails and you see Ivomec Plus, then Ivomec Super, then your entire problem is solved. And it went off the market. Good thing to we've added that also to one of the responsibility that we have to ensure that you always have it. Dr. Abubakar, you want to say something regarding that also?
Yeah, the first time I used Ivomec Super was during my undergraduate school. And then when I was in second semester 500 level, if I can remember vividly. Then after that, during my NYC, I saw it then was in around 2021. I'm very much sure. Then I saw it. I think that was the last time I saw the Ivomec Super, very, very much effective. Very effective.
Yeah.
Very, very much effective. I can attend to that because I use it so much and I enjoy it. Then I've been looking for it here and there. The only option I got then was using the RMM produced by Umeli, RMM plus close to law, then the Umeli product, similar to that. I think that was the only product I lay my hand on. Then I learned the RMM. Thank you.
That was, thank you so much, Dr. Abubakar. Please, Dr. Moses, are you on? We see a Moses, but without a doctor title. Dr. Moses, is that you?
Yes, yes.
Fantastic, finally.
Can you make me a host to share the screen, please?
Yes, please, back and make him co-host so that I can share his screen. So thank you, Dr. Abubakar. Just to let you know that both products are now available
from image,
and we can get to you where you are in the country, even outside the country. So, but we'll allow Dr. Moses take the next 45 minutes to share the product knowledge, make a product presentation. Once he's done, I'll be back to pick all your questions, pick all your contacts, and then in 24 hours across the country, you're able to get whatever it is that you order for in terms of Topline and Ivomec. So let me again welcome everyone of us to today's product presentation by Dr. Moses Arukrio, presenting we're featuring two products, Topline Pour On, and then and we are fortunately for us this evening, and Ivomec. Dr. Moses, if you're good, I'm also good. Can we spotlight him and then enable him share his screen?
This is it. No,
so share. I want to share.
So it's not show the like
Yes, Dr. Moses, I think you have the stage. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Backen. Wonderful job. Wonderful job. But are you able to share your screen? I think you're using your phone.
Yeah, I'm sharing. Yeah, I had to go to my phone. I don't know what is going on today, but I had to.
Okay, so what about sharing your screen? How easy will that be? Since you're using your phone. We need to ask for
Just 1 minute and I'll share, please.
Okay, or you can also share the presentation with us, then our back end can share the slides. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for warming up. Once we start on a very high gear, and we're going to climax at something very beautiful. We have a special discount for anybody who places an order right after this product presentation. But I'm going to let the cat out of the bag by the time the product presentation is done. But just to let every one of you know, we are super happy in Pamela to serve you. And we are here to do the same that we've been doing ever since we started. All right, fantastic. Dr. Moses, although we can see the picture of it.
Yes, please. Yeah.
Let's be sure that we're in the right class.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Okay. A very good morning to everyone. Sincerely sorry for the delay. Network issues. First, I mixed up the code. I was trying to come in through my laptop, but the network was bad. Then I started trying through the phone. and then I had to transfer the presentation from the laptop to the phone. My sincere apologies, please. Is my apology accepted before I start speaking, please?
Very well accepted. Yeah.
Thank you.
So much.
Thank you, and Kay, and thanks everyone. Once again, apologies. So I'll just be very fast because time is fast spent. I was hearing one of the participants said he has heard of Ivomec before now. So I would just do a quick follow-up on that to say, yes, we are not talking about new products in the market. We are talking about products that have been around. And somebody, thank you, Ibrahim, for accepting my apologies. The products have been a bit off the market over the last 3 years, particularly Ivomec Super, but now we are doing a kind of re-entry into the market. And so I'll just go right into the presentation. So Ivomec is a product we all know, and Ivomec is a product that is used to take care of parasites, just like we have other injectables that are ivermectin oriented, but there is a difference here between the Ivomec that you know and the Ivomec Super that we are talking about. So this Ivomec has a difference because of the closolone that is therein. So Ivomec Super is a combination of ivermectin and closolone. Ivomec controls internal and external parasites. We're talking about gastrointestinal roundworms, lungworms. We're talking about parasites that are external, and also liver fluke. Now, there is a unique production technique that makes Ivomec different. This is why we tend to say it's Ivomec D, or we tend to say it's Ivomec Super, because of the major difference that it has, giving maximum efficacy and with the lowest toxicity. Ivomec presents with a very strong quality over time. Our Ivomec, I must say at this point, was the first of the ivermectin molecule to be in the market, and we retained the patency for decades before it became something that was being used in terms of generics for Ivomec. So it's a highly purified solvent that has great impact in terms of speed and amount that is actively absorbed to reach maximum therapeutic dose, and hence we talk about the efficacy of the product. What is the mechanism of action? Like we know, ivermectin is a member of the macrocyclic lactone class of endectocides, which have a unique mode of action. What do I mean by that? When you use Ivomec Super, the ivermectin part of it works in such a way that it blocks the gamma, what we call the gamma channels. What am I trying to say? This compound binds selectively with high affinity to the glucomate chloride ion channels. And so you begin to talk about paralysis, leading to the death of the parasite that is in question. These are all the science behind the mechanism of action. Ivomec has a very high margin of safety, considering the compound from which it comes. And then another good thing is that the lactones have a low affinity for other mammalian Lingard-gated chloride channels. So what it means is that it does not readily cross the blood-brain barrier, which is one of the reasons why Ivomec Super is a drug of choice. Now, I said in the beginning that there is a major difference with the fact that it has closolone as an inclusive ingredient in Ivomec Super, and the closolone is rapidly absorbed into the circulating blood system. What does that translate to? It means that when we talk about liver fluke, with the liver being a hub of metabolism in the body, Ivomec closolone and that inclusion, part of Ivomec Super, gets readily absorbed into the circulating blood. And so what it means is that the liver fluke is easily taken care of, or what scientifically we call fasciolar species. So whether we are talking about the adult The closolone takes care of it. If we're talking about the preliminary stages, it blocks and inhibits the enzymes, and so you get the same result. Overall, the closolone inclusive ingredient of Ivomec Super makes sure that anything that has predilection site in the liver or in the blood circulating system is taken care of. And in this focus, we are talking about liver fluke Fasolia. So I want to reinstate the fact that Ivomec Super takes care of endoparasites, the helminths, and also it takes care of external parasites for the animal that you use it for. Ivomec Super is administered injection-wise to the cattle, and we say that it does not affect fertility of cows and bulls, and given at all ages. In this focus, we are talking about the young calves, so you don't have interaction with other products that are taken also for fermentic conditions with Ivomec Super. For those of us who are veterinarians online, you know how very much to use this Ivomec, even though I know that many of us know how to use the Ivomec Super. You always have to check on the weight because you are going to reference 50 kg of body weight. When you want to use Ivomec, it goes 1 ml to 50 kg body weight. And of course, you know, for those of us who are vets, how to administer. I will not dive too much into that, but I'm just going to say that you need to be as hygienic as possible when you are using Ivomec Super in the administration, your syringe, the cleanup of the area of insertion of your syringe, and then the product itself. Everything has to be under an hygienic condition. Summarily, I would say that not all ivermectin are the same. This Ivomec Super is a product of decades of work. Like I said, we commanded the patency of ivermectin molecule for quite a while until it went generic, and then we have the closolone as an inclusion ingredient inside of Ivomec Super, and this makes quite a lot of difference. And also is the excipient, which altogether works the miracle of what we call Ivomec Super. And for those of us who have used Ivomec Super over the years, you will know that there is a marked difference between Ivomec Super and other ivermectins that you find in the market. So just to encourage, I know that I've seen people in the field, they buy other ivermectin, they buy Ivomec Super, and they try to put it together just for Ivomec Super to potentiate, you know, the effect of whatever it is they are using. I want to say that that would not be necessary. Just go for Ivomec Super and use it alone because it does deliver. If you use ivermectin from other competition, you can do a kind of comparative study on your own. For sure, Ivomec Super delivers very, very differently because of the methodology of presentation, because of the scientific backing that it has, because of the rich pedigree that it comes from, and because for sure, the quality, the safety, the low toxicity is something of a great advantage. And of course, like I said in the beginning, it can take care of endo and ectoparasite, meaning it can do internal and external treatment and even preventive, as it were. So moving ahead, we want to talk very quickly about Topline. I'm conscious that I've wasted a bit of our time at the beginning, so permit me that I'm going very quickly. So if there are questions you'd like to ask at the end of the presentation, I'll gladly attend to that. Topline is a pour-on, a fipronil-based pour-on 1%, made available in Brazil, where it was first manufactured in 1997. We have two presentations. It comes in 1 liter, it comes in 5 liter. But what is most commonly available in this climb is the 1 liter of Topline. We launched Topline in 2014 in Cameroon and other West African countries like Benin, Burkina Faso, Cote d'Ivoire, Togo, and Senegal. And in 2015, we were able to launch Topline in Nigeria. So yes, I do confirm. One of the participants say yes, he's known Topline before now. You are very correct. This product was launched in 2015, precisely in Ilorin and in Kaduna, following the work that was done by one of our doctors, our professors in Ahmadu Bello University, a very respected senior colleague of ours. It is in the tradition of BI. Every time we bring in product, we don't just base the usage on the scientific papers that are available from the launch that is done in other European countries or other African countries. We try to run a local test of our own. And so what we have done with Topline in 2015 or prior to 2015 is to run a trial on the ground by one of our own, a professor in Ahmadu Bello University. And after the efficacy trial that was done and a very fantastic result, even with off-label use, that he found out that Ivomec also, when you use it, it wards away flies from your animals. You will not find this on the label. This is one of the discoveries that our doctor made here on the ground after doing the trial on Ivomec. So in 2015, after the local trial, we launched Topline pour on in Nigeria. And since 2015, Topline has been here in the country. Of course, 1 or 2 years interval, it was off the market. But again, like Kay said from the beginning, we're back and strong on Topline. What do we use Topline for? For ticks, external parasite, because Topline is not used orally, it's not injected. It's a pour on, so it goes on the skin of the animal. So this is just a picture showing you, for those of us who probably, but I doubt that who have not seen ticks before, this is just a picture to relate the same. And then consequences of tick is what you see in the picture. On your screen, you can see emaciation setting in because ticks suck blood from these animals. You can see the paralumbar fossa, you see the depression, you see because the animal start to get lose weight because of the consequence of the blood-sucking ticks. And then the skin and hide is being destroyed, which are things that matter economically. So beyond the loss of blood, beyond the tick paralysis that comes up, you begin to see a condition that causes such that your skin and hides are not having that economic value. Of course, for those of us who are veterinarians online, you know what dermatophilosis is, and that is consequent to part of activities of these ticks, and then we can take care of them by using Topline. How do we control the ticks? Some people do bush burning. You know, as these animals move around from pasture to pasture, the ticks get to attach themselves onto the skin of this animal. So for some people, out of frustration, they just set the bushes on fire. But you know, especially in the dry season, when you set a bush on fire, you cannot predict how far and for how long this bush will burn. So it is not a very proper way to control ticks. And also you see the fellow in the picture trying to do manual removal. This is quite taxing. This is quite hectic. And so this is not also the right way to go about this. Again, I want to show you the fact that some of us use acaricides, methods of application. We do dipping, we do spraying, and then we do pour on. And today in focus, beyond dipping, beyond spraying, which also comes with certain side effects and consequences, especially for the animals, because you have to measure, you have to do all of that, you have to prepare, like for dipping, you have to get the facility in place where the animals will go into, and some of the times we just leave it to the farmhand to say, channel the animals through this part for dipping, and not all of them get dipped. And you know that if one animal has tick, it can easily attach, you know, to another animal. So in focus today, we are talking Topline, and we're talking pour on as the approach. What is the molecule? I say again that it is fipronil. I say again that it is 1%. I want to say that it's very effective against ectoparasite. I want to say again that off-label use against flies have been noticed even by our own local professor, who is the person who did the trial with his team here on ground 2013-14 in Nigeria. before we launched in 2015. So far, with the experience coming out of South Africa, we've not heard or seen any kind of resistance so far. And Topline, the fipronil component part of it, has been certified, guaranteed to be offering the longest protection so far. If you do compare this to the cypermethrin, you will find out that this information is very credible. How does the fipronil work? It's a broad spectrum insecticide that disrupts the insect central nervous system, again relating to the chloride channels. We are talking the GABA receptor here, same as the similar channel like many other acaricides work. But the difference here is that Topline is fipronil, pour on, no resistance, and it's very, very effective. 1 ml to 10 kg of cattle body weight. This is how it's designed to use. What does that mean? If we are presenting something in 1 liter, we are saying that 1 bottle of Topline can take care of 40 cattle for you. Just 1 bottle going 1 ml to 10 kg body weight, you can take care of 40 cattle. Do the maths and you find out that it's very, very economical. Here we did a trial, like I said, by our professor here on the ground, and also from results from outside, from Europe, from Brazil. Especially this graph is just showing you the comparative study between deltamethrin and Topline. You can see the difference in the graph, how that Toplines give you a very high percentage of efficacy, as compared to the deltamethrin against horn fly as it was used. How do we apply Topline? You just, when you buy the Topline, you find out that it comes with a measurable cover. So once you remove the inner cover of the Topline, you will fix the application pipe or application cover on the Topline. It comes together with the Topline. So you don't need to buy that, which is also another advantage for you. All you need to do, remove the inner cover, take the application cap and put it on it. And you just go from the head, at the edge of the head, and you just go like you see the man in the picture. This is a picture of a Nigerian. It's not a foreigner, because like I said to you, this trial was done here on the ground in Nigeria, and we launched it in Kaduna and also in Ilorin. So you apply all the way on the at the back of the cow, all the way down the tail, and by itself, the Topline will just flow, to the body of the animal. What is another advantage of Topline? You look at the cattle in your picture, you find out that once it is applied, it goes down and gets absorbed into the skin of the animal, and then you see the color a bit reddish on the coats of the animal, on the skin. What does this do for you? It becomes another way, the red coloring, to do your counting. It becomes another way to do your separation. Let's assume a man has 500, 1,000 cattle. He cannot use all the pour on in 1 day, and this coloration will last for 3 to 5 days. So what it means is that when you apply, you can always come back at day 2 without having any problem. You can easily see, oh, this guy I have applied Topline on this cattle. So easily you can separate the applied from the unapplied. So the red coloration is like a marker for you, because it will last for 3 to 5 days on the cattle. Again, 1 ml to 10 kg body weight. So the coloration will vanish after 3 to 5 days. It's not going to be a permanent thing. It does not damage the skin. It serves as an addition, as a marker for you to separate the applied from the unapplied. Now, strategic use of Topline in the raining season, we say apply Topline in June at the beginning of the raining season. Again, during the raining season, which is this time, you can apply your Topline in July, and you can apply your Topline again as the raining season comes to an end, sometimes in October. But you and I know that due to climate change, all of these things are changing. And so we are just giving you a guide that between June and October is the recommended time for you to use. But what it also means is that at your discretion, you can use the Topline depending on when the rain starts, depending on when the rain finishes in your own area. But we say at the beginning of raining season, and 2 months later, you can make another application. So with a 2 months interval, you can do June, you can do October, you can do midway in times of around August. And then quite based on your discretion, if you are moving your animals from one place to another, it is advisable that you use Topline. You can use it any time of the year if you want to move your animals. Like I said again, it comes to your discretion. If you are moving your animals from one part of the country to another, they are going to pass through bush part. You don't want to clean your animals and again have them, have ticks on their body when you are moving them. So you can apply rather Topline before moving your animals from one place to another. But if otherwise, you can give at the beginning of the rainy season, midway, and then at the end of the rainy season. Or you can just do beginning and end. And again, I want to emphasize, use your discretion. You own the animals, you know the movement pattern, you know the epidemiology, so you can do the needful based on your discretion. We are just giving you a guide on how to use and how to apply the Topline. Someone will ask, how much is Topline? And I want to say, just postulating, just a hypothesis rather. Let's compare Topline to a generic unknown, a generic unmentioned. Let's assume the generic sells $7 and we sell $25. I am not saying this is what it costs. I'm just saying, we're just saying hypothetically, let's assume that competition costs $7 and Topline costs $25. Somebody will say, oh, Topline is more expensive, the generic is cheaper. Cheaper how? Now, take a look at this with me. If Topline is sold at $25 and Topline covers for 40 animals, 1 liter covers 40 animals, and we are saying that with one application, you have 6 to 8 weeks of cover. We are using 6 weeks as the worst case scenario, but Topline can cover for not less than 2 months. In fact, cases, some people have said, once I give my Topline, it covers for a bit more. But we are saying the worst case scenario is that Topline gives you a 6 weeks cover. But I know that it can give you a 2 months cover. But worst scenario is that it gives you a 6 weeks cover. Okay, so if that be the case, and we apply 1 week, and 3rd week, and then the 5th week, and then we are trying to say you apply 3 times, and then you are spending $25 for 40 animals, and on the other generic, you are spending $7, and then it only covers for 20 animals. Now, let's do the maths. Topline will protect 40 cattle in 6 weeks with 1 application, and then generic will do 20 animals. So if we say they want to do, let's say 40 cattle also, and to cover for 6 weeks, they will apply 3 times. Because why do I say that? They cannot, the generic cannot cover you for 6 weeks. So during 6 weeks, generic will give you 2 weeks cover. So what it means is that you would have applied the generic 3 times when you apply Topline once. You can go back and do your own study. You can do your own competition. You can go buy another generic and you can compare it with Topline. You can apply Topline and then expect it to cover you 6 weeks, in fact, to 8 weeks. And then you can use the generic. The generic will cover you for 2 weeks. I'm talking practical on the ground. I mean, not so much as what is on the label, but you can do this experiment yourself. Just separate your cattle into 2, take Topline and apply it once and expect it to cover 6 to 8 weeks. You will find out that you would have used the generic 3 times. And even though it looks like it's cheaper at $7, multiply that, and then by 40, in terms of application, you will arrive at the end of the day to see you have spent $42 as against $25. So I'm not saying this is my product and I'm speaking about it to my own advantage. You can do this on your own. Get a generic, get Topline, apply Topline once. I can assure you that you would have ended up applying the generic 3 times before the cover of Topline is done. So Topline, I want to submit, is the cheapest. Pour on. It is safe. There is no skin reaction, not since 1997 when it has been produced and launched in Brazil. There has been no history of resistance since 1997 when it has been produced, and then it is fipronil. I can tell you from where I sit, from what I know, from what I've read, from what I've experienced in the field, most other generics, most other molecules have been abused and over time have developed resistance. Fipronil is the way to go, and this is the active ingredient of Topline. Beyond being cheap, There is no skin reaction, there is no resistance, and it is very, very convenient to use because it is one application versus 3 applications. So having said that, I'd like to pause and then trust that I have spoken something that makes some value to you. And once again, I apologize for joining late. Network moving from laptop to phone, trying to look for what works the best. Once again, please accept my apologies. And if there are questions, I would like to take them. Kayode, over.
Amazing, amazing presentation. Thank you so much. Now I feel like ordering for a carton of both Topline and Ivomec. Well, that's on the lighter note. Thank you so much for the presentation. I think if you have a question, there are 2 ways before we go into the market aspect of it. And I said you should hang on, please. I have an important news, good news rather, to give at the end of this whole session. So it's now time to ask questions. If you have questions, there are 2 ways of going about it. It's either you're typing it on the chat box, Zoom chat box, or you are raising up your hand and we can allow you to talk. So you want to share experience, you want to ask a question. It's either you state something on the chat or you raise up your hand. And we have about 15 minutes or thereabout to go over this. Lawan is raising up his hand. So if you can stop sharing your screen and then help me prioritize. So let me read a few comments. Fine presentation. Emmanuel Sales, well presented, Dr. Moses. Let me get a few. Can you scroll up? Wow, Dr. Moses is a master of Topline and Ivomec Soup. I'm happy to hear that. So meaning that he drove home the point. Thank you for Dr. Abdul Kadir. Says, thank for great presentation, sir. Please, can Ivomec Super be used in small animals? And if yes, at what dosage? So maybe we should start with that before we take Dr. Lawal. Dr. Moses, can Ivomec Super be used in small animal? If yes, at what dosage?
Okay, so like I said, there are off-label use, but we just stick to the ruminants, sheep and goats, and the cattle. We do not. There is no on the label usage for pets. We do not. There is not on the label. Yes, someone once said that he used it on dogs. It was very effective. And he called me some couple of years ago. He said, I want to start using this. I said, I cannot officially say use it, because it's not on the label. But what is off label that have worked is house flies. Our own doctor who did the trial, in fact, he insisted we should change the label and add house flies on the label. We say, well, the manufacturer did not give us that privilege. We cannot do that. But I can tell you, I've seen it on the field. Yes, you can. But for pets, cats and dogs, there is no label indication for the usage. Yeah.
All right, so that's it. It's an extra label use of drugs, if you allow me put it that way. But again, we have stories of people who have used and then had the results. Dr. Booker, thank you so much. MNI, I needed to add that MNI part of it. Very important title. He said, great presentation. Please educate us on the withdrawal period and what the literature says about the residue in meat. Only you, Dr. Moses, can answer this question.
Okay, so it's supposed to be a month to withdrawal. Certain scientific presentations have said 3 weeks to 1 month, but we stick to say, okay, a month to slaughter or maybe sell off, depending on what you want to do, is the withdrawal time. And we do insist that people respect the withdrawal time. We have had cases where we had to withdraw products. If we from someone who we discovered was not readily respecting the withdrawal time. We insist, for those who know BI, you will know we are sticklers for quality, we are sticklers for the rules of the game, and we don't allow the products to be abused, because this is part of the things that end up on the long run and with a broader view causing resistance. When people don't respect what should be respected, and then the issue of residues, we are guiding this product very diligently. Like I said in the beginning or during my presentation, go check the generics. We are fast having so many resistance issues with so many generics. Just check. I don't want to mention names of products so it doesn't look like this is against competition, but you are the end user. You decide for yourself. I can't even push my desire on you. Compare on the ground, check, experiment on the ground. Most of these other generics are beginning to develop resistance, and we don't want Friponid-based Topline to have the same issue. So we are very strict with that. If I had joined this, if I've joined this at the right time, I would have digressed to show you pictures of myself among Fulanis carrying Topline, educating, and really telling them this is way to go in Elisha Barba, that we don't sell to them, we just educate them about the product. We take our time to do that. They will tell you, oh, we want to buy. We say, go and see your doctor, go see the distributor who is registered, and this is how we have always marketed our product over the years. And this is how and why we have stayed in the market. We do not like to just, just sell for selling's sake. We want people to respect. Anybody who knows the history of BI, we know that we are talking quality product. We are talking products that have stood the test of time. And just to say this, I know I'm on record, but off record. Someone called me at the time Topline was not in the market. He said, please just give me Topline, even if it's expired. I used Topline 2 years after it has expired. It's why I said, what did you say? He said, yes, I used it 2 years after expiration on my own cattle, and it works. Well, I didn't know what to say to that. I just told him we don't advise that. But I mean, that gives you credence to the quality of what goes into the product. Yeah.
Well, German thorough people, if it is Topline, then you can go to rest. Thank you, Dr. Moses, for that. An iPhone user is, so for those of us raising our hands, I will call us shortly. Let me just take 2 more questions from the chat, and then I will go back to Ross. An iPhone user saying, my question, please. Number 1, what's unique in Ivomec, different from other Ivomec brands, aside the inclusion of Closolon, that makes it effective? But maybe let me quickly say, if it is not Ivomec Super, it cannot be Ivomec Super. The second question is, do we need to rotate Topline with other parasiticide to mitigate resistance? That means changing between various products. Up to you, Dr. Moses.
Yes, the difference, Ivomec Super, like I said, it doesn't cross the blood-brain barrier, very unique. It's extremely difficult for you to have a product that won't do that. The science behind it have made sure it doesn't cross the blood-brain barrier. So that is the uniqueness. And then it also have low toxicity, very, very low comparatively. And then, like I said, the Closolone inclusion makes for a broad spectrum of action. And like somebody put in the chat box concerning Topline, he said from his own experience, once half to 3/4 of the animals have been treated, the rest, even just through contact, can get protected. He's talking about his own experience. And MNI, Dr. Buka, I want to thank you for bringing that to the fore. These are people who have used the product, And again, for pets, honestly speaking, I would not say use it, because like I say, it's off the label, but I know that a couple of persons in Lagos have used Topline a lot on their pets, and they call to say, we want Topline, it's working on our dogs. I wouldn't sell to you if you, because it's an off-label use, but I would just leave that to your discretion. But it's working, just to put that on the table. Topline is very effective. So Ivomec, no blood-brain barrier issues. you know, and then the closolone, very super, and our CVS, Tumsia, it is synonymous, like to use her words, to confidence. If you use Topline, you don't need to use it with any other acaricide to answer that question. Use it and go away. You know, that is the same thing when we had oxytetracycline LA. If you are going far away into the bush, make sure you are using oxytetracycline 20% from Merial, from BI. You use it and you go and sleep. You don't need to be thinking of going back that way. And that is the same history and pedigree from which Topline has come. You don't need to combine with any other. You just use it, and you can be rest assured in confidence. To use the words of Dr. Tumsia, you can go home and sleep.
So I like that. Use it and go to bed. Fantastic. And of course, people who have used it, they know that it's tested and trusted. It can make you look like a superstar as a vet because of the quality of work that has been done. So I will still come back to the chat, but let's take Dr. Lawal. Dr. Lawal Ahmed, but you've been raising up your hands just quickly. Let's take your input and then we'll go to Madassir.
Good morning to you all.
Yes, good day, sir.
Great to see you
Your voice is cracking. I really don't know whether it's from us or from you.
I think it's the network, but can you see me?
Yes, we can hear you. You turn off your
it's
video.
breaking up.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. My question is the use of common.
So we'll take, maybe you should type your message. Then let's. Fantastic. So let's take Dr. Mudassir. Quickly, then we'll go back to the chat.
Okay.
Thank you, Doc.
Okay. Good morning, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you for the presentation. I met it at the midway, but while you were presenting your Topline, and I want to say that what I've met is well educated. I just want to ask. I know you have spoken about the skin coloration and how it disappears. What would you say to the end user? You know, as veterinarians, we have diverse group of people that we attend to. What would you say to the end users who still feel that the discoloration might have effect on the marketability of their animals?
Okay, so okay, maybe I'll allow Dr. Moses answer that, but you know, he said also that it disappears within 3 to 5 days, so it's not like a permanent thing. Just to help you distinguish between the ones that you have attended to and the ones you have not attended to. But Dr. Moses, let me let you answer that.
Yes, very quickly. It's a marker. It's a marker. It disappears maximum 5 days. Within 3 days, the marker disappears. And end users, doctors, veterinarians have found it very, very useful as a marker to separate animals. You know, sometimes you are trying to treat and the animals mix together, and then you find out that the ones you've treated before, you mistakenly treat them again, which leads to loss of capital, loss of money. And so this Topline helps you, you know, I mean, you can just enter into the herd and just, you know, randomly be treating anyone very close to you without being afraid that they will mix up. The marker is there and it vanishes after 3 days. Yeah.
Fantastic. So let's go back to the chat. Let me take a few questions. Then, as I said, don't go away. There are some measures of good news that we want to. Dr. Jacob John, Ivomec Super readily available in the market now. So that's our job, to get it into your hands, and just hold on. Don't be in a hurry to go. We will tell you how to get Topline or Ivomec within 24 to 48 hours. In fact, less if you're close to any of our distribution center. Topline, Dr. Tumsia said Topline is synonymous to confidence. Thank you so much. That's an advisor to a sitting governor. So we take that recommendation very to heart, and thank you so much for that vote of confidence. Dr. Emanuela, we have been using Ivomec for pets at 1 meal per 25 kg. The result has been amazing. So let me speak like Dr. Moses. Please take this as off the record. It's an extra label use of the drug, but of course, as you have said, it works like magic. Dr. Bukak said, it has been used on cattle. Is there any toxicity on camel and horses for our livestock farmers in the far north? So I think that's an important question. Can it be used in horses?
Can it be used in what?
Horses.
Sorry,
can it be used
I'm
in
not
horses?
hearing.
Can it be used in horses?
Yes.
Right. Can you hear me? So while we're trying to get him up, can you still bring down the chat so that I can see more from the screen? No, bring it up. I want to read other chats. Yes, up. Okay, so comment on the unique aspect of Topline from my personal experience. 1/2 to 3/4 of the animals has been treated. The rest will get it through contact with treated animals, and it's very effective. So again, I know Dr. Moses made a comment around this. Once you have covered 3, 4 of, well, I will not advise that so that we can sell some more. But again, just in case you want to save and you probably, because sometimes some cattle population are so large that you could miss out on some. But once you've covered 75% of the flock, you could have some herd immunity. Can you take up the comments? Let me scroll up. Let me read more comment. Drug interaction, I think we've answered that. Up. I think I can now go back to my class.
Hello. Hello, okay. Okay, so coming back to the issues that surrounds the pets, like I said, it's an off-label use. People have used it, at least I know, since we launched the product in 2015. We've had people since 2017 calling to say it works in dogs, in pets, but like I said, since it's not on the label, it's not something we put on record to advocate the usage. And like you said, somebody even quoted how he is using it. But for Ivomec, for pets, yes, if you are a veterinary surgeon, you can, of course, under veterinary advisement, but we will never tell an end user to use as such. Issue of contacts has been mentioned, and very strongly, yes, it is. It is that effective that immediately after usage, if you have covered 75% of your herd, if they come in contact with each other, you can also get protection. So that is Topline for you, and that is Ivomec for you. And like someone was trying to ask that it's been off the market. Yes, Ivomec has been out of the market for close to 3 years for different reasons. And we have continued to receive calls from different areas. People want the product back. Again, you know the times in which we are now, economically speaking. And so we have tried our best to find a way to bring the product after much absence from the market, almost 3 years of absence. And then we have tried to make it as friendly economically as is possible. But again, like I said, while rounding up on Topline, I can tell you Topline as of today remains the cheapest comparatively. If you want to use Topline, you use it once, it covers 6 to 8 weeks. Compare it with 3 usage of other generics. I mean, if you don't do the math, sometimes you think you are doing the right thing until you put pen to paper, then you find out you have been wasting money. So use Topline and be economical at this time. Okay, over. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Dr. Moses. Thank you for stepping in. We had some light issue, but again, we're back. So again, thank you. Thank you, everybody. And then I think we've answered most of the questions. And in less than 10 minutes, we should wrap up this program. Now to my, the marketing, right? So we are privileged or opportune to be partnering with Dr. Moses to ensure the constant availability of Topline and Ivomec. And the good news is that this product is now in the Nigerian market. So I want to give us an opportunity and then a small good news. Back end, if you can share. So we have the products both available in 4 locations, but Pharmalab has the capability or the capacity to distribute across the country. If you let us know where your location is, we've sent to several states. Dr. Tumsia that was on this call, I think we were opportune to get a picture of her. I didn't know a special advisor can also still be attending to cattle directly. So we have a picture using Topline in Abuja, but in Niger State. So she had ordered hers. We have quite a handful of our colleagues ordering Topline and Ivomec Super. So we have the products available in 4 of our distribution centers. We have it in Abuja, we have it in Ibadan, we have it in Kano, and of course, it will soon be in Taraba. So if you need Topline and Ivomec, I want you to pick this number, 091, that's our Chief Partnership and Growth Manager's contact, 091 35 004 35, 091 35 000435. That's Dr. Nancy. We have quite a handful of our partnership and growth managers scattered across all our distribution centers. And if you're placing an order today, you have an automatic 5% discount, but you will have to call the number. They will have to send you an invoice. And then, of course, once payment is made, so maybe let's do it for today and tomorrow. So you have a 48 hours window for this good news. If you're picking up the product today and you're making payments today, there are 2 things that will be on us. First of all, you get an automatic 5% discount. And this is just available for people on this call, just to reward you and tell you thank you. After today, we will check the attendance and be sure that you are part of this call. After today, the 5% discount will be off. And then the second thing that will also be on us, regardless of wherever you are in the country, shipping to you will be free of charge. See, you can't get it anywhere else. So especially for Ivomec and Topline, if you're ordering today through the number that we have just shared, you'll be getting an automatic 5% discount regardless of the quantity. Then secondly, the shipping to whatever, if just in case you're not in Abuja, Ibadan, Kano, or Taraba, shipping to you will be free of charge. Now, I think I'm feeling your applause behind the scene. If you like this, just comment good news on the chat bot. And then maybe more importantly, if you're going to be ordering, can you just say, I will be ordering? So we know how effective this presentation will be. On the chat box, can you bring up the chat? Let me see if you're going to be ordering. Thank you, good news, thank you. Thank you for the good news. If you're going to be ordering, just state I will be ordering so that we can easily just pick up your contact. You have the phone number. Oh, fantastic. Thank you so much. He said he will be ordering. And I think once you start using this product, thank you so much, Dr. Jacob. Thank you so much. I will be ordering. Thank you so much. So if you're ordering today, you have a 48 hours window, 5% automatic discount. Secondly, we will to you free of charge. Let me at this junction thank Dr. Moses for this wonderful presentation and for representing your company. Maybe a little experience about BI, and then we'll be calling it today. You know, one of the key things I've noticed for the little time we've worked with Dr. Moses and then the BI product is the premium they put on quality. You know, when this product came in, there was an embargo just because they want to track that everything was okay. As soon as the due diligence was done, the embargo or not selling it was off. And I just realized we deal with several of our suppliers, almost 100 of suppliers. Nobody has grilled us as deep or as intense as what BI has done. And that's to tell you that regardless of the market that we're serving, BI has put a priority on quality and then on premium service. And that's the same thing we are going to be offering you. So what happens beyond 48 hours, we resume back to our normal price. And then, of course, we can still consider the free shipping depending on the volume. So let me at this junction thank every one of us for coming. It's been a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful time hosting every one of you. And then, of course, after this, we look forward to servicing you. I want to partner with Farmalad. Please lead me through Dr. Well, okay, so we are also very open to partnership. Once you want to, we are currently looking for people who can help us champion these 2 grants of drugs in their local community across the North. We're emphasizing the North because we know that's where bulk of the cattle population is. So if you have a business proposal to us, of course, you could reach out to the numbers that we have just shared, and they will be passing you across to me. Thank you so much. Please do enjoy your afternoon. Thank you, Dr. Moses, and wonderful afternoon, everyone.
Yeah, thanks, everyone. Bye.
Thank you.